was a question the American ambassador and his deputy needed to answer.
We were invited to this party. We both went around quite separately talking to the various generals and admirals. When I asked General Rabi how things were going, he said, no problem at all. So I went over to Admiral Habibullahi and I asked the same penetrating question, how are things going?
میگفتیم که وضع ما درسته، ارتش سر جاشه، این حالت پیدا نشه که داره رژیم متزلزل میشه کم کم.
Here we were, the country was in turmoil, and there was not one significant mention of political problems, disorder, or anything. I could not sleep that night. In the morning, I hustled over to the embassy. I went in, I said, Mr. Ambassador, this is not going to work. He smiled, and he threw to me a pile of a yellow-lined paper with writing on it, and top was thinking the unthinkable.
The ambassador's report to Washington spelled it out. The Shah's regime was in peril. The president called an emergency meeting.
Our presumption was that the United States policies would be better off if the Shah did stay in power.
We were concerned that if Shah falls, the whole thing could become extremely unstable, not just in Iran, but in the region.
But over how to save the Shah, the president's advisors were divided.
Secretary Vance and I both felt that the best chance the Shah had to maintain his position was to go the direction of reform, to have early elections, to take human rights steps that would gain the confidence of his people.
You first reestablish order, thereby asserting your authority, and shortly thereafter initiate reforms, having proven that you're in charge.
Brzezinski felt we should make it very clear to the Shah that we would not object in any way if he decided to really crack down very hard and use what Brzezinski came to call the iron fist.
The message to the Shah was not clear. It urged him simultaneously to get tough with the protesters and to offer them concessions. The Shah summoned the ambassador.
اعلیحضرت صحبت این کردن که آیا آمریکا میخواد که من با شدت عمل به خرج بدم یا نه.
Ambassador Sullivan had to say, I have no instructions on this, Your Majesty, which left the Shah very confused.
خسته‌تر، ناراحت‌تر و در واقع یک آدمی بودن که به کلی دیپرس بودن.
The King of Kings went on TV and embraced the revolutionaries.
انقلاب ملت ایران نمیتواند مورد تایید من به عنوان پادشاه ایران و به عنوان یک فرد ایرانی نباشد. تضمین میکنم که حکومت ایران در آینده بر اساس قانون اساسی، عدالت اجتماعی و اراده ملی و بدور از استبداد و ظلم و فساد خواهد بود.
The Shah announced that he and his family would soon be taking an extended holiday. The Americans decided they had to act.
Our intention was to make sure that the Shah's support was firm and to make sure that Iran didn't come apart.
I said to the president that we ought to explore the question of what will be the behavior and the attitude of the Iranian military.
President Carter turned to a general who had served in Iran.
My instructions were to give United States assurances to the military of Iran that we would support them.
His mission was to go out and see if the Iranian military had the stomach to attempt a coup and to suppress the revolution.
The general had to get the military to defend the throne while the Shah was away.
ایشون پرسیدن که آیا که نقشه‌ای که ارتش بتونه اوضاع رو به دست بگیره چی دارین و اگر این نقشه چی میگه؟
You had to have plans. You know, the immediate thought of these generals and admirals was to do what you're talking about, that they take control. But when asked how, they were speechless.
رژیم ما در اون موقع چنین اجازه ای رو نمیداد. چون خب ترس این بود که یه دفعه این فکر یه روزی در ارتش پیدا نشه که خودسرانه چنین اقدامی بکنه.
In his haste, the American general had failed to pay the usual courtesy call on the Shah.
من خیلی کمتر اوقات اعلیحضرت رو اینقدر عصبانی دیدم. خیلی معذرت میخوام اگر من این کلمه رو بگم، ولی خب اعلیحضرت فرمودن که این مرتیکه آمده به ایران و تمام همه جا رفته، با همه ملاقات کرده، رئیس قره‌باقی هم دیده، حالا قبل از اینکه بره آمده از من میخواد خداحافظی بکنه.
He cautioned me, and only as a Shah could do, and you'd have to know him and see him looking at you through his glasses with his penetrating look, that I should not forget who the King of Kings was.
I saw him only once when he accompanied the American ambassador to come and inquire about the date of my departure and even the hour of my departure. That's all I discussed with General Heiser.
Before his holiday, the Shah appointed a new prime minister, a moderate and former opponent of his regime, Shapur Bakhtiar.
I hope that we can settle all dispute and misunderstanding between the king and the nation. We hope.
Soon after, the Shah and his wife left Iran.
I had to take a little tranquilizer. I usually never took tranquilizers, but I had to take one not to cry or to feel sad.
در همون موقعی که خداحافظی میکردن یک افسری یه سرهنگی بود، خودشو پرت کرد اول به پای اعلیحضرت و گفت اعلیحضرت نمیذاریم شما برید. البته گفت من برمیگردم.
On that plane, I was looking back and thinking, is it the last time I'm seeing my land?
The Shah had fled a popular uprising once before, in 1953. Then America and Britain had engineered a coup which put him back on the throne. Now Western leaders were at a summit in the Caribbean. This time they agreed the Shah was a lost cause, and their only hope for a pro-Western Iran was his new prime minister. President Carter asked President Giscard to help persuade Khomeini to keep away from Iran.
Le président de la République me dit « J'ai reçu un message du président Carter qui me demande de le transmettre à Khomeini. » Je suis arrivé, j'ai retrouvé mon ayatollah. Je leur ai dit que c'est le souhait du président des États-Unis, que naturellement il fallait laisser un peu de temps pour que Shapur Bakhtiar puisse faire front aux difficultés de l'époque, et que par conséquent, il souhaitait que l'ayatollah diffère son retour en Iran.
نماینده فرانسوی گفتش که آیت الله هم باید که از دولت بختیار پشتیبانی بکنه و اگر نه ارتش ممکنه کودتا بکنه. این پیغام تهدید ضمنی هم داشت بر اینکه ارتش دست به کودتا خواهد زد. به همین دلیل آقای خمینی هم عصبانی شد.
Il m'a répondu, le président Carter doit comprendre, c'est que s'il veut que les relations se rétablissent normalement, il faut naturellement qu'il cesse d'appuyer des forces contraires aux vœux du peuple. Or, j'interprète les vœux du peuple.
Khomeini called on his supporters in Iran to give the soldiers flowers.
شعار در میاد که برادر ارتشی ما به تو گل میدهیم تو به ما گلوله.
Many soldiers were conscripts and followers of Khomeini. They deserted in droves. The revolutionaries set up reception centers to receive them.